Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a plan with me video, and this is a little bit different angle because I just recently got a brand new camera. So I'm trying to figure out like which angle I like, if I want it straight from the top down or if this works out, because this one has a viewfinder on it, so I can actually see now if I'm in the frame when I'm doing all my plan with me. So I really enjoy this angle, but I want to make sure that you guys can see what's going on when I start filling out some of the actual spreads. And so let me know down in the comments if you like this setup or if you want me to go back from where you can just see the very top. Now, a lot has changed since I did my last plan with me video. I am still using this same Limoam bullet journal. This is just one that I got on Amazon, but I really enjoy this brand because of the fact that the pages are so thick. But I recently read Ryder Carroll's book, The Bullet Journal Method. I got it from my library, and I could not believe that I didn't read this book beforehand because it was absolutely amazing. I learned so much, and I really wanted to change my bullet journaling so that way it fits into like his method. It makes total sense to me. I know for some of you, you might have already read it and it might not be for you, but it just, I don't know, a light bulb went off in my head, and that's the way that I'm going to be doing my bullet journal spreads from now on. Now, if you're not familiar with his method, I'll explain it just a little bit before we get into the planning, but I actually had to reset up my bullet journal a little bit just because I only have a couple months left. So I created a little index here, and then I have my future log, which is literally just November and December. And then I started with my October planning that I was doing. And so essentially what it is this is the October spread. So you have a little like monthly spread right here where you can write things that are happening on each day. Most of my stuff is just video planning because that's really all I do is YouTube and then go to work. And then this was like a running to-do list. And what I really like about this is just because I don't have a week set up or a day set up, I still have this running to-do list for October. And so what you would do is you would go back to your future log. This is if you had it set up for the whole year, and you would look at anything you had written down for October. For instance, with my November one I'm about to do, I would go back to my future log of November, and I would look at what needs to be done, and I would move it over to my November like running to-do list. When you have your running to-do list, like for instance this October one, then when you're setting up your daily spreads, which look like this, it's just, you have a day, you write the things down, and so you only really set this up the night before. Then you would flip back and look at your running to-do list, things that you had written down maybe, while you're going to bed, all of that. Anytime something pops up and you're like, shoot, I really need to do that, this would go in that running October, and then you would just look back through here and be like, okay, this is today, can I get it done? And you would write it in that actual daily log. So that was all I had really tried out for October. Let me talk really quick about some of the supplies that I'm using, and then we're just gonna get into the planning, and then I'll go over my spreads right after that. So my friend Brandy had sent me these mild liners. Gosh, I'm gonna say it wrong in this video too. Anyway, so she sent me these mid liners, and so I have a bunch of different colors, and I really like them because they're pretty light, and so I can still see my writing. And then I also, from her recommendation, bought these Tombow drawing pens, and this pack was on Amazon, and it came with a 01, a 03, and a 05, and so I've been using these quite often. And then also I have a recommendation from my friend Heather, and she uses these microns, so I have some of these as well. And then of course I have my pencil that I always use to do my spreads before I actually color them in. So I'm gonna just go ahead and set up the rest of the journal, and then I will explain like how I'm using these spreads and how everything comes together.
Close to fear and doubt, I stopped and turned, trying to find out be something I forgot, but all I know is that I miss you a lot, a lot. 7 days of eternity, 7 days in another country. Every cell screams stay right here, and my legs they freeze us in fear.
So now that I finished setting up just like the basics of my planner, I'll explain like just how it works. So we talked about the November calendar and the November to-do. I'm gonna use this little 005 micron, which is kind of the tiniest one, to write out the things that I actually need to move over. So we're gonna go back and look through the future log right here for November, and we're gonna see I already completed that actually earlier than I expected, and then this actually I will move over. So what you're gonna do is you're going to move this to right here. So we're gonna do a little dot right here and write out our task. Okay, then this I actually did get done. So anytime you get something done, you're going to make sure that you cross it out so that way you know that it's like finished, and anything that you're moving to the front, you're going to draw a little arrow so that way you know that it has been migrated to somewhere else. So this, we migrated to our November, so we don't have to like come back here and worry about it anymore. The admin fact, we're also going to migrate to the November. And so we're gonna go here and we're gonna write this. Okay, and then Canva tutorial, that's gonna be migrated as well to this November. So that was everything in the future log. I'm also going to look through my October like to-do list and see if there was anything that I didn't get done that also needs to go to November. And this right here, this We Be Bookin' retreat, I need to migrate this whole thing over because I did not do this stuff yet. So we're going to put this over here. All right. Looks like we got all that stuff finished. We did do the live shows. We're gonna cross that out. This rewrite work quizzes, that needs to be on here. We're gonna say that that was moved, so that's migrated. I never did get to film a fall home tour, and guess what? Surprise. I set up for Christmas already. So this is actually irrelevant now. So we're going to cross this out. That means that we don't have to worry about it. It's not even like a thing anymore. But that does remind me that I need to film, I want to film a Christmas home tour because I did not plan in advance for the fall one. Also means I'm going to put this in my main channel video ideas. Then I have make a yearly calendar for Pray and Reflect, which I didn't do yet, so I'm gonna migrate that to November. Okay, what else do I have? Oil changed, never got that done, so that needs to also go here. That needs to have a high priority on it. So we're going to draw this little star thing so that way we know that that needs to definitely go as soon as possible. And then shipping. Yeah, I definitely have to ship a bunch of these things, which shipping I'm actually going to put on my today list because that's something that I am doing like absolutely today. So I'm going to put ship, and I'm gonna put everybody's name down here. So Heather. I know there's a bunch of other people. I need to go back and look in my phone because I know there's other people. Okay, so we went through our whole October to do, and we like put something for everything. Either we migrated it forward, or if it was something that needed to be done in December, then we would have drawn an arrow going that way, because then you would have moved it back to your future log. And so then I would have wrote it in here, and that way you could see that it got migrated back that way. Okay, now I'm gonna just go through my daily things and make sure that I got everything done. Let's see, that was done. Or make sure I don't need to like also move something over to my November list. That's done. This I'm actually doing right now, so that's gonna go forward. And I'm going to put it right here in my daily since I'm doing it right now. Actually, I'm gonna move down here because I need to. Okay, and then this I actually already moved forward, so we're just gonna move this forward again. This is actually done. Oh, actually this I'm doing today, so move that forward to today. Oil change, we already moved that forward because that did not get done, and it looks like the rest of that stuff, oh, this got done too. That was all that we had for October. And so I moved everything over that I needed to move over. And so now if there was anything else that I knew had to happen in November, I would put it here. And so I'm actually gonna put a few things that I know need to be done in November. But like this is gonna be my main like just brainstorming list. So for instance, if 3 hours from now, I'm like, oh shoot, that would be something I need to do in November, I would write it down right here. And so this is where, you know, like, you know how you have like a notebook on your bedside table and you just write like all these like to-do things? That's what this is for. I'm going to move to this page. So I actually had a reading journal which was like this, and I decided that I am only going to use one notebook, especially for 2020. I don't need to have a bunch of notebooks all over the place because it's just hard for me to like know which one I need to take with me, which one I need to write something down in. This was my reading journal and this was like my main bullet journal, but I am now incorporating them all, especially since I didn't even have a lot of stuff to write in here every single month. It was literally just trying to keep up with my booktube videos and then the books that I read and what I rated them. So actually, let me show you what a wrap up looked like before. So this is what I was doing. I was writing the book that I read, the star rating, whether it was like, I have these little icons for like physical book or audiobook, and then whether I like bought it or got it at the library, and the page number, and then the genre that they fall into. So instead I'm doing it like this in one page because I also had then a wrap-up page. So like I had this page and then I had this October wrap-up page. So I would have like the whole list, and this is what I would use to make my wrap-up videos on my book channel. I just wrote my TBR, like the books that I want to read, down here, and then once I actually finish them, because these are just in pencil because they could change, I might not want to read those, but I'm just giving you an example. Once I would finish one, I would write the title, the author, the page number, and then I would fill it out and be like, okay, this is what it falls into. And so these little things right here, this is audiobook, I have physical book, ebook, library book, scribd, giveaway or gifted, NetGalley, which is like an ARC ebook thing, affiliated, like as in if my YouTube channel, like if someone reached out to me and sent me a copy, then that would be the affiliated one. And then this is like Kindle slash Kindle Unlimited slash Amazon First Reads, so anything that like doesn't really fit in there and it's all like ebook related. And then this is the star rating. So at the end of the month, I want to go through this then, and I can just write the totals at the bottom, and so that way I'm using one spread instead of like 3 different pages to figure that out. Then over on this side, I just have my November videos. And so I'm gonna have my main channel videos, like these are video ideas I could have in November. And then once I actually get them filmed and edited, then they would go into this spread and get highlighted for like they actually, you know, went out on that day. Then this is for my booktube channel. So again, any type of videos I have that are like ideas, or even for the future ideas, like can go in here. But I think my future ideas I'm gonna put in my future logs, so that's how that's gonna work. Then I am doing some major, well, not major budgeting yet, but I'm trying to find a good budgeting spread that's gonna work for me, because my husband and I, like, we recently had to get our like plumbing fixed in the house, so that cost $5,000. So we need to restart our emergency fund, and he was talking about possibly doing 3 months of no spend starting January 1st, like after the holidays and stuff, because, you know, we really don't do that much then in that like spring-ish winter type of area. And so I saw Ryder Carroll had a like shopping list spread slash grocery list spread, and so I'm gonna try that out a little bit. It's a little bit different than like how he actually has it. This is the actual spread. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this is the actual spread. So like he has the menu on this side, and then he has a shopping list, and he puts the price of the things that he bought in the shopping list. And so that's how he like says to do like a grocery budget. Instead, I'm gonna do a big shopping list where I put anything I buy. It doesn't just have to be groceries. For instance, if I buy a Christmas decoration, it's gonna go in here. And so then I'm just going to have the item on this side and then the dollar amount, and then I just have another column here. I don't know how much I'm gonna have in here because I am planning on writing out the actual items I buy from a grocery list. So say for instance, I go to Aldi, I'm gonna be bringing like this along, and I'm just gonna stick my receipts back here. And so then I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna write down, oh, that blueberries were like this price and this was this price. And I feel like that's gonna help me a lot with making sure that I'm only buying what ingredients I need for my meal plan. I use these little like post-it notes, and I have been writing like my meal plan on these and what page numbers it goes with the cookbook that I'm doing. And then I was writing my grocery list on these, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that and then fill it into here, or if I should just write my grocery list on this. And so I think that's how I'm going to do it. And so then I can go through and be like, oh, look, I bought this and it wasn't on my grocery list, and kind of like really figure that out. I might have to do more than one of these. This might have to be like a weekly grocery list thing, which is fine. I'm fine with making more of these. So I'm not sure, you know, how many grocery lists are gonna fit into this, but we'll see. And then I have the total. So that way, even if this was week 1, which I might even do it that way, like week 1, or maybe, you know, grocery week 1 or something like that, and then put the total, and then I can easily add it up at the end. So then this is a budget tracker, and so I'm only gonna need one of these per month. And so for this budget tracker, I just have bills on this side, how much they were. So this is gonna be anything that doesn't involve shopping. So it's gonna be like our electricity bill, our Netflix, our mortgage, you know, those big bills. And then this is gonna be our income, because Alvin works a job, I work a job, and then I also have like Amazon gift card income from the affiliated links. I have 2 different YouTube incomes because of both of my channels, and anything else that maybe could fall in this. Maybe for instance, I sell a few items or something like that. I wanna put this in here. So I'm really excited for this. So I have the total down here, total of bills, and then total of income. And so I wanna really kind of like just see how much we're using, and then that way I can see what we can cut out for our future no spend. And then this is actually my daily log that I started. So this is how you would do it. You would go to, these are my ones from October. You literally just start your title, you write down the things you have to do for that day. You can either do it the night before or the morning of, and then the next day you would do the next thing. And so yeah, some of my days I only had 2 things because I worked that day, so I knew I didn't have a lot of time. Some things I have a lot of stuff to do because I'm off that day. And so I just really, really love this whole system. So for instance, this is today, this is my started list, and I need to write out a few things, and then I'll either cross it off that I finished it, I'll move it to another day, and so on and so forth. That is my whole spread of how I'm doing my month of November. A lot of these are probably gonna be set up mostly the same, but I still want to do plan with me videos into 2020, just because I really like being able to show you guys how I'm moving things from one page to the next, what's working for me. And so if you guys really like that, definitely let me know down below. It's not gonna be fancy spreads. It's not gonna be a lot of habit trackers and creative ideas. I really, really want to use my bullet journal for functionality and not to have it be beautiful and pretty. So if you don't like that type of stuff, then these videos probably aren't going to be for you. But if you've been looking to set up your journal to be super, super functional, then this is definitely gonna help you, because I'm going by pretty much Ryder Carroll's whole thing in his bullet journal method book, and I just think it's working out super, super well. I'm really, really excited for it, and so I hope that you guys are excited as well. And I'm really excited because I'll be getting a new bullet journal very soon and setting it up for the following year for 2020, and that's gonna be super exciting, so be prepared to see that video on both of my channels in probably December, I think is when it'll come out. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know this is probably a little long, but this is how it's gonna be from now on because I really like explaining how I'm moving something from one place to the next. And so I'm really excited for these videos. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you all in another video. Bye everyone.